Well, part of the crime scene where Detective Sean Suter was killed remains blocked off, but investigators are confident new evidence will lead them to his killer. The father of 5 was shot in the head last week in West Baltimore while investigating a triple murder. Rick Ritter is live in the Harlem Park neighborhood where part of the crime scene is still being held by police. But we begin with WJZ investigator Mike Helgren live at City Police headquarters with what the commissioner revealed about the investigation today. Mike?
Denise, in a nutshell, the autopsy results led police to go back to the scene where they recovered crucial new evidence. They're not saying what that evidence was. It has been decades since the murder of an officer in Baltimore has gone this amount of time unsolved without a named suspect. Police have been focusing on the small vacant lot between 2 row houses where Detective Sean Suter was shot in the head last week. Just after noon today, investigators moved us back from the area where they recovered what they're calling significant new evidence, although the commissioner won't say what exactly they found.
I think it's going to help us identify the killer. I really do.
The commissioner says whatever they recovered here was a direct result of what investigators learned from the detective's autopsy. He revealed today the manner of death is a homicide, the cause a gunshot wound. He also said 2 people were arrested, questioned, and released last night in connection with the case.
These killers don't go far. We think he's in the city, and we think he may be wounded.
Commissioner Davis says 3 shell casings at the scene all match Detective Suter's department-issued weapon, but would say little about his partner.
We're not identifying him. He's considered a witness in this case, and I'm not going to comment on what role or what observations or what he did.
The reward is one of the largest ever offered in this type of case, soaring above $200,000.
When someone's bold and brazen enough to kill a police officer, identifiable police officer, people want that person off the street quickly.
It's a very active, fluid investigation, and the way that we solve this case is not sitting at a desk waiting for the phone to ring.
And just within the past few minutes, a fundraising account set up for the Suter family has gone above $33,000. It was set up less than a day ago. Reporting live at police headquarters, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
Mike, thank you. Now let's check in with Rick Ritter live in Harlem Park, where a specific part of the crime scene is still being held by investigators. Rick.
Well, Vic, here we are 5 days later, and it's still a very active crime scene. Earlier, it was released, then it was reopened again, and detectives in the ATF honing in on a back alley. Now, police and the Harlem Park community are hopeful this investigation is coming to an end. Only WJZ was there as Commissioner Davis made his way back to the crime scene 5 days after Detective Suter was murdered. What was once cordoned off for blocks has now decreased significantly as the community looks to get back to a sense of normalcy.
Nobody really want to be in the middle of it. I don't blame them. I don't want to be in it either.
For those who live in the thick of the crime scene, it's been anything but ordinary.
All day, all night.
Dealing with police activity around the clock for nearly a week.
Keep hearing it, you better can go to sleep. Keep hearing helicopters and stuff like that. I just want this to be over with.
Some having to show identification just to make it home.
Oh, I showed them my ID, and that was good.
But, I mean, they just doing their job, so, hey, I can't get mad at them.
The ACLU even criticized the city, releasing a statement saying, in part, residents deserve a clear explanation as to why this unprecedented action has been taken.
It's just sickening. This is just sickening. Seriously.
The police commissioner says he can certainly empathize.
So I understand the heightened sense of scrutiny that's associated with holding a crime scene this many days, particularly when it impacts a residential community. I'm very sensitive to that.
But with detectives finding new significant evidence at the scene on Monday, Davis says that's exactly why he held it for so long.
And I did it based on the necessity to close this heinous case, and I'm encouraged by recent developments.
And the commissioner added that the move was absolutely necessary. He's hopeful the crime scene will be fully released by tomorrow. Live in West Baltimore tonight, I'm Rick Ritter reporting for WJZ.
Rick, thank you. Again, there is a $215,000 reward in the case. If you have any information, call the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI, City Homicide at 410-396-2100 or 1-866-7-LOCKUP. You can also text TIPS to 443-902-4824. Stay with WJZ for updates on the search for the suspect in the killing of Detective Sean Suter.